Analytics. I welcome Leon Wurfel and Casey Witkowicz from Bueno and Rycom. How are you?
Really good.
Good
Really
to
good.
meet
Thanks
you.
for having
Hello.
us.
Hello,
How are ya?
Casey. Good to see you. So, guys, tell me what's going on, how the interplay between your two companies, and
So Bueno as a business have been operating in Australia for 4 years. We've been at this conference. This is, I think, our fourth time. So really grown up in front of the Rycom and IBCon crowds, which has been a great journey. Over that time, we've built out our own platform for delivering end-to-end analytics services, and we've productized that for license to partners internationally. Rycom are our first partner and our Canadian partner, and they're taking our platform to market to deliver their own end-to-end analytics solutions.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so we've been servicing the real estate industry in Canada for over 20 years now. And we saw a trend developing, more technology going into real estate, smarter technology. Our clients want better operating efficiencies, lowering capital intensity. And so we actually met at IBCon, Bueno and ourselves, and we kind of hit it off. We have similar mentality, similar culture.
Yeah.
We love Bueno's experience that they bring to the table, complements us. So it didn't take much time to figure out that we're made for each other.
Now, I've heard that you, Leon, are sort of a data mathematician, magician type of thing, and that you are able to, by looking at numbers, extract efficiencies that heretofore were. Are you agreeing with me? Is that?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. And you be quiet for a second. Let's brag about this guy. No, but
Well,
really, what is he bringing to the table? Because it's been described to me as such.
Well, he's a bit of a disruptor.
Yeah.
I mean, he loves to be counterintuitive.
Yeah.
And a bit of a space cadet, but we can live with that. He thinks ahead, and that's really important. And that reflects in the whole company. They're not stuck in today and looking at how things can be done today.
Right.
Clearly, there's a lot of good companies out there, but we like Bueno because they kind of look around the corner and sort of ask the question, what if?
Now Rycom puts up a lot of towers, a lot of fiber, correct?
Yeah.
Does Bueno do that too, or are you more in the think side of
So
it?
we are interested in data.
Data.
We do analytics on data to extract whatever stream of business value our clients are interested in. We integrate with the building systems to get data so that we can do analytics. We also provide visualizations, but that's to show the results of all the value that we're providing to our customers. So we're really complementary businesses, and Rycom are managing a lot of the communications infrastructure that this data flows over. Hence why it makes it a very logical step for them to expand into mining the data that they're already running the highways that the data's driving down.
What was one of the gold mines of data that Casey and Rycom didn't know they had? What were some of the things that you were able to perceive and go, hey, there's an opportunity here?
I think that the industry as a whole has a massive blind spot in knowing what kind of value exists in the data that they've already got. A lot of people, I'm going to make a massive generalization, but a lot of people who've come into the analytics space have come from a building automation background. So that means they're very inherently drawn to the benefits that you can get out of plugging into a BMS, saving a bit of energy, which is great. Everyone should be doing it, but they're leaving untouched a huge treasure trove of potential value in other building systems.
Like what?
So, for example, we also integrate with and provide analytics to elevators and escalators. Sorry, we got a different term for it in Australia.
Lifts, sorry.
Yeah, so people aren't interested in saving energy when we plug into their lifts, but they're very concerned about the level of service they're providing to the occupants of their space.
Yeah.
They're concerned about risk,
Sure.
potential entrapments and that kind of stuff, predicting that,
Yeah.
and getting some transparency into the quality of maintenance service that they're getting. And what becomes very interesting is then when you start layering multiple systems over each other, and then when your lift doors aren't closing, maybe you should actually call your HVAC technician because it might be a pressurization problem in your air conditioning system. That's the root cause of that issue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but so I'm following you. So now how does this lead to the treasure trove of data that you mentioned?
So there's a treasure trove of data in fire systems. There's a treasure trove of data in car parking systems. There's a treasure trove of data in every single system in a building. And at the moment, it goes to a terminal. It only ever gets looked at when something breaks, there's an acute issue, and a technician goes and sits in front of a screen and tries to manually diagnose these problems. Just like you can have analytics running 24/7, doing fault detection on every single point in your BMS, you can have the same kind of paradigm running on every other system in a building.
I see. Casey, what he's talking about, what is the broader implication industry-wide? How can we benefit from the kind of work that Leon's talking about?
So from our standpoint, we've been carrying information over networks within the buildings for literally decades. And so what he's been able to do is give us a look into the payload. And so being able to do that is key. I don't want to repeat what he said, but a lot of the industry today has a lot of that information there. What we've been able to figure out is how to tap it, make it available, and work with the properties to operationalize that. And that's kind of where we come in as a company. It's one thing to provide people with a tool, but you're asking the same people that have been doing the same job for literally decades themselves, try something new, and that's sometimes harder than said than done. So we help that transition, to happen, and that's, I would say, one of the big aha moments is helping people, absorb this technology, both the information and the new platforms that come with that, and being able to also, redo their work days. And so that's one of the key moments.
And I think that's another thing that often gets missed in the industry is that we're running around spending so much time deploying technology onto buildings that we forget that it's actually people running those buildings. Yeah. And you've got to think about how you're going to deploy the technology to the people as well, manage that engagement. And at the end of the day, if you want to change something about how a building operates, you're still going to rely on somebody rolling up their sleeves and turning a wrench to get an outcome. So you've got to look at those key operational touch points that already exist, use technology to supercharge the points in time when people are changing the operation of a building.
In what way has the partnership between Bueno and Rycom affected Rycom?
Well, for us, it's given that visibility from a business standpoint. We've always, we're closer to an IT, OT type company, so we understand transport, information, but what Leon's company has been able to do is give us access to the application, HVAC operations, elevators, fire and safety, security. So that's given us better insight into that data to allow us to go take the next step. So we've been providing services up to a point, and this has given us the ability to interface with the operating staff in the building at a much more granular level.
Terrific. And what has working with Rycom done for Bueno?
Well, we've definitely gleaned an appreciation of how much easier life can be for us when we're operating in an environment with converged networks. The Australian market is much less mature than the US market when it comes to the adoption of converged networks, and it makes life a hell of a lot easier for us getting the data that we want.
And our last 30 seconds, what message do you guys have for the industry as a whole?
I want to challenge the industry to get out there and find what value exists in all these other systems, move the value streams that they're delivering away from just the cost minimization over to the value generation side of their businesses as well, their clients' businesses, and think about the people that are operating these buildings and how you're going to enable them with the tools rather than just bolting the tools onto the way that they already currently do business.
Yeah. Terrific.
So a bit of an expansion on Leon's point. The industry today is, everything's going up in cost, operating and capital intensity. If you're looking for tools and you're demanding your operating staff to be able to reduce that, you got to give them the tools. And we think that we've got something here that helps to address the OpEx reduction and lowering the capital intensity. And that mix is really a hedge against inflation. And so we kind of think that's what we bring together to the party.
Terrific, guys. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Leah and Casey from Rycom.